So in this video, I want to show you guys that are over in the United States that right-wing extremism isn't just a problem over there. We have the exact same thing taking place in our country, in the UK, especially when it comes to the topic of immigration. So in this video, I'm going to show you one caller who is extremely right-wing, and then I'm also going to show you another caller who has more sympathy, more empathy, and raises a great point when it comes to the subject of migration. Let's jump in.
To pass.
I'll tell you why I phoned you, Matthew. I was a bit peeved at you saying this country's broken. You better believe it's broken. We can't even get access to a dentist or NHS for the amount of migrants that are coming over.
Nothing to do with government policy then, over the years,
well,
taking dentists out of the
policy.
essentially out of the NHS.
But when I say to you, Matthew, you're the one that promotes it every week, the poor immigrants, the poor. What about the poor people in this
Do they
country?
qualify for human rights, David?
No,
That's the question.
Say something, Matthew.
No, just asking the question.
Matthew, I've got birth certificates to prove where I was born. All right, in London, brought up in Scotland. You know, but all I hear is the poor migrants. Some of them.
Okay. So migrants are taking away your dentist. I get that. So do we take away their human rights as a retaliatory move, or is that vindictive?
They're using the human rights through the lawyers, and they're getting away with sort of murder, and some of them are getting away with murder. Grow up, young man. I'm 75, and I'm sick of it. That's all I'm going to say.
So you're not going to answer the question then?
The question is that you turned round. When you came on, you said this country's broken.
No, but I said the question is, are migrants worthy of human rights, or do you consider to be less than human?
They're not all worthy. The good ones, yes, not the ones that come over to do us harm. And if you
so some of them are okay. Some of them are okay. Some of them are not. But we'll never find out if the okay ones are okay because we just want to deport them.
You're a proponent for them all to come. Everyone.
Good morning.
So really quickly, just before we go into the second part of this video, you guys have just seen an example there, and there's so many problems with what that caller just said. You know, one of the things he was complaining about that is quote unquote, a lot of people have been complaining about it and they utilize this as an opportunity to attack immigrants, is things like in the UK, the NHS is struggling. Doctors and dentists, it's quite hard to get an appointment at the moment. But there's a number of different factors that are actually contributing towards that. You heard Matthew say in the video, is that not to do with government policy? The Tories literally ran the country for a number of years, and as a result, they got rid of a lot of doctors, a lot of people within the NHS, dentists, etc. And things like that are of what contributed to struggling to be able to get appointments. Another thing that it is that when you are listening to people like this that they don't look at is a lot of these people are fleeing countries that are war-torn and countries that are in a bad spot. And Britain, the UK, actually had a hand in contributing towards those countries now being in the position that it is that they are. But the most important point that it is that I want to make with this is that callers like this gentleman that we just heard speak, they always overlook the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that we've got multi-millionaires and billionaires that live in this country that are stashing money away in tax havens, and they're not paying their fair share towards the country and towards the economy. You see, if these people were paying their fair share, we'd have more money to be able to put into some of the public services that it is that we've got. NHS, doctors, dentists, all of these different positions, we'd have more resources to put into them. But because you've got the right wing arm of the country and they're really pushing the propaganda, speaking about immigrants this, immigrants that shouldn't be the focus. This is one of the things that I constantly speak about: poor and middle class people voting against their own interests. The focus is so heavy on people that are fleeing other countries to come here for a better life, but instead of focusing on that, we should be focusing on the people that aren't paying the correct amount that it is that they're meant to be paying towards the country. I just wanted to make that point. Let's go into the second caller, and then I'll just give you my thoughts before we call it a day for the video.
Matthew, how are you?
I'm all right. I try not to be riled up by people that start screaming about migrants and don't feel they sort of qualify as fellow human beings. But hey, we've all got different opinions.
Yeah, I have a different view to your previous caller. I think we just need to take a step back, and when it comes to thinking about human rights, and the very definition implies that they are rights that should be entitled to all human beings. So I think it's more of a set of guidelines, if you like, as to the minimum standards of behaviour that will allow us to flourish as a species, quite frankly. So the idea that you have an act of parliament or a law that can dictate who and who is not entitled to those doesn't make sense to me. I think its job is there to articulate and to clarify what we really all know are those standards of behaviour.
Do you? I've still got the message up, Alex. It was, and I think as soon as I read it, I thought, oh yeah, this makes sense. That if Kemi was to get her way and Strasbourg started processing deportation claims, we could have refugees brought to our country, sent to our country by Strasbourg, which you can already see. How dare Strasbourg send these people to our country? And the next thing you know, we'll be out of the European Convention on Human Rights.
But I think for me, that's whether you're in or out of the convention, it doesn't change the obligation of people to do the right thing and for governments to reflect what their population really wants to do. So, you can opt in or out of a specific group of, organisations, but you still have that requirement.
Okay. Do you feel that anyone who arrives at this country, do you feel every human should be entitled to those human rights?
I do, yes. And I think if you're looking at that from a global point of view, then, migration is a symptom of a problem, not the cause of the problem, because if those rights were being maintained globally, then, the need to be refugees would not be
Nicely said, James. Oh, that's a hole in one as far as I'm concerned.
Bingo. I can tell straight away that caller, James, I think his name was, I can tell without a shadow of a doubt that he is somebody who's on the left. His thinking, his thought process, and listen to what he said. There's obviously a wider problem as to why immigration and migration is a problem globally. There's a problem there because if we were all doing what it is that we needed to do, these countries that are out there, people wouldn't need to be fleeing them. I just wanted to just make this video just to highlight and show you guys all around the world as this channel's continuing to grow at the rapid rate it is, which I appreciate you guys for, that it isn't just a thing in America. It's not. We're literally having it right here in the UK as well. So many people with strong thoughts and, lacking a lot of common sense in their thinking when it comes to migration. Now, am I on here and I'm saying that I believe every single immigrant, there shouldn't be any rules or any type of regulations in place? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not. But what it is that I am saying is that there needs to be some sympathy and some empathy around this conversation. With the right, you see, for them, it's just simple. Nope, cut them off. Don't let them into the country. They don't deserve to be here. In America, we see illegal aliens, really referring to these people and trying to refer to them all as criminals, as people that do things wrong. But we know factually, it's actually, it's a minimal amount of these people that actually do these sort of things, So one of the things, once again, that I have spoken about when I tell the story of how it is that I got involved and I got curious about American politics was Donald Trump's rhetoric when it came to immigrants. That's one of the things that really made, highlighted to me, okay, this isn't someone that I'm fond of. This isn't someone that it is that I like. His rhetoric and the way he was speaking about immigrants and people, that are trying to come to the United States of America, that's one of the things. And he has been a direct cause as to why you've seen a massive rise on the right, even right here in the UK. Nobody was having conversations and speaking about these sort of things prior to him feeling confident enough to be able to do that. People weren't doing that here in the UK. It wasn't happening. But as you have seen, because of the fact that he started to do it, you started to see murmurs and conversations about it starting to happen right here in the UK. But I just wanted to just show you guys, like I said, that there's two different examples that we can see here. We can see two different examples of what's happening and what's taking place, you know, when it comes to the far right and right wing individuals. But look, as always, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below this video. It's happening right here in the UK as well. And I just wanted to just bring that to your guys' attention and just show you two different sides of the coin of what's happening right here in the UK. You've got someone who most definitely is right wing, but then you've definitely got someone who's on the left whose thought process when it comes to immigration is a little bit more different. I appreciate you guys, and if you took value from this video, do me a favor, go below, hit the thumbs up button. And if you are new to the channel and you're interested in an outsider's view of American politics and anti-Trump, anti-Republican Party, anti-MAGA, and just looking at the right wing all around the world, go below and consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you as part of the family. But look, I appreciate you guys, and with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.